a second part of division of decimals here to do with you. And I'm going to try and squeeze this in before the bell, before we have to go to class. So we'll see how we go. Wish me luck. Alright, so this part of the video is about division of decimal numbers, which we talked about last video, but by other decimals, so division with decimals in both parts of your question. And you can see an example here. So there's just one extra step that you must consider when you're doing these questions. So before you do your division, you need to change your divisor, which is this part, into a whole number. Now, it's kind of like finding an equivalent decimal in some ways. And with that rule, when we were doing equivalent fractions, we talked about whatever we do to the top, we've got to do to the bottom. Try and remember that with this style of question. Whatever we do to our divisor, we've also got to do to our dividend, which is our other part of the question. So whatever change is made to a divisor must also be made to a dividend. Okay, so let's do our divisor first. So to change that to a whole number, you're going to multiply by 10, 100 or 1,000. Okay, now in this case, I would be making, my whole number will be 2. And to do that, I'm going to make 2 jumps with my decimal place. And so that means I'm timesing by 100. 1, 2, 2 zeros. Okay, so I think that was 6D if you need to go back, or 6C, and have a look. So to make it into a whole number of 2, I've times by 100. So that means whatever I've done to my divisor, I've got to do to my dividend. Okay, so I'm going to times by 100 there as well. 1, 2. Okay, so that makes my dividend 2, 4, 5, 6.2. Okay, and now that I have my new numbers, I can do my division question. And it will actually give the same answer as it would if I did this on my calculator. Okay, so I set it out as I would normally. Now it's 2 and not 0.02. And now it's 2, 4, 5, 6.2 instead of 24.562. Okay, so hopefully you can see how I've done that with both numbers. Okay, so now I just do my division like I know how to do with a whole number and a decimal. So 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 4 twice, exactly. 2 goes into 5 twice with 1 remainder. 2 goes into 16 8 times. I put my decimal place down. 2 goes into 2 once. Okay, and that's my answer. 1,228.1. Awesome. Let's do another example. So I need to change my divisor to a whole number. That's my first step. And similar to the last question, I need to times by 2 jumps, so 2 zeros. So that makes it times by 100, and that gives me 3. Okay, but whatever I do to my divisor, I must do to my dividend. So I'm going to times that by 100 as well. 6231.6. And if you were to do a question like this in your exam or somewhere else, I want to make sure that I see this working out first, okay, before you jump straight into setting it out like a division. So that would make it 3 as my divisor out the front, 6,231.6. Okay, so 3 goes into 6 twice, 3 goes into 2, it doesn't fit at all, so I still need to put my 0 down, and I then move my remainder of 2 over. I always rewrite it, it's just a habit of mine. 3 goes into 23, let's see how many times. 7 with 2 remainder. 3 goes into 21 7 times. Place my decimal point. 3 goes into 6 twice, exactly. Okay, and that's my answer. Alright, so just a quick recap, because I know that's probably fresh information for you. Change your divisor to a whole number by timesing by 10, 100 and 1,000. And you choose whether it's going to be 10, 100 and 1,000 by like the smallest one you can do to make it a whole number. So I wouldn't times this by 1,000 and make it 20. I don't need to do that. I can just times it by 100 and make it 2. Then whatever changes made to the divisor are due to the dividend. And then I just follow the steps with a normal division of a decimal, not forgetting to put the decimal place above into the question. All right, good luck.